Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, guys.
My name is Emily. I am from Cambridge in the UK.
And my name is Gabriel. I'm from Birmingham in the UK. And we are both at the Ponte Lungo School here in Rome. And I'm exceptionally green in the camera this evening. Not sure why, but
Yeah.
I'm almost green like these, green and pale. I don't know what's going on with lighting. But we would like to know who we're talking to. What's your name and where are you to the students?
Yeah.
So we're going to be looking at holidays. Great thing to think about in these days, I think. Choosing a holiday vocabulary, using comparatives, and talking about pros and cons. Yeah.
Okay, so a bit of description of your last holiday. So your most recent holiday. And when we say holiday, because sometimes there's a little confusion what exactly we mean by that. It means your last trip, the last trip that you went on, not the last holiday as in religious holiday, but the last vacation.
On holiday and on vacation, yeah. As well.
Yeah.
Is what we tend to say. I'm going on holiday, I'm going on vacation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
where did you go for your last holiday? Question to students. Question to Emily as well. Where did you go on your last holiday?
On my last holiday, I went to Egypt.
Ooh.
At Christmas in December.
Right, okay.
I had a big family.
Where did you go in Egypt?
Oh, I went to lots of different places in Egypt with my family. We went to an amazing place called Abu Simbel in the south of Egypt, on the edge of the desert, on the Nile.
What's there? Are there archaeological sites, or are there, what kind of things did you see there?
There is there are two amazing temples, huge ancient Egyptian temples. Really, and the temples are part of the mountain, part of the hill. So you go inside, you go into the mountain to visit the temples. And it's really amazing. Ramses II.
Ramses II. Ooh.
Yeah. And
I recognise the name, and that's significant in how many Egyptian pharaohs there have been.
Yeah. He was an important one. He built a lot of stuff. And this was unusual because it's so far south. But it's really extraordinary.
Ramses II, yeah. Didn't he defeat the Sea Peoples or something?
You know,
I seem to remember him. I did one module on ancient Egypt a long time ago.
Well, if you ask in December or in January, I knew all about Ramses II. I had so much information about him. And now I can remember nothing. Yes,
Such
he
is
was a
the case.
he was an empire building pharaoh.
Hmm.
And he had lots of wars, and he built lots of monuments to the wars that he waged, that he fought in. But I cannot now remember the details of it.
I think what I seem to remember is he is like the last great one before the dark ages, the Iron Age, Dark Ages. I think in between the Bronze Age and the Iron Age. I seem to remember. I think
He what?
like 1200 BC or something.
Yeah, he was a
Problem
new
with
kingdom. He was a new kingdom emperor, pharaoh. Hi, Patrick. Patrick from Sicily and lives in Como.
Patrick from Sicily, come on to
Last.
Trieste and Slovenia last year. Ah, cool. I was in Slovenia last year as well, Patrick. Did you go to? Well, most people go to Ljubljana, I think, which is an amazing place.
Is it? I've never heard about Ljubljana.
Really cool, Ljubljana.
I've never looked at it as a tourist spot.
Lovely. I mean, I went it at kind of Christmas time, so it was very, very cold.
What did you do there, Patrick? What did you do there, Gabe?
I mostly did history things and a lot of drinking as well. That kind of thing. Went to an amazing squat, which had been, it was a cultural center which had been after the breakup of Yugoslavia, was not claimed by Slovenia itself, and it was set up as an independent artistic and cultural space. So it's not technically within the boundaries of. It's in a Yugoslav barracks,
Wow.
and it's not technically within the boundaries of Slovenia, and it has some really dark underground music and stuff, and amazing art everywhere. It's an insane place. And Patrick says, visit. Okay. Oh, so when you went to Trieste, this is still in the past, Patrick. So we could just say, I went to the beach and I went to visit the center of Trieste.
Yeah. And we could even take this verb visit and put the verb visit in the past without go. I went.
Yeah, that's true.
I went to the beach and I visited. The Trieste Center.
Patrick says, I like eating fish. It's the best.
But I think here we could, in general, I like eating fish. But if he's talking about fish in a particular fish that he ate in Trieste, I
feel... Okay. Are you talking about a particular kind of fish in Trieste, Patrick? Or are you saying that fish is the best in general? Yeah, that's a good point. That's such a weirdly subtle difference, though, isn't it? As well, it's like
Yeah.
I like eating fish there. I like eating the fish.
Yeah.
I ate the vongoles pasta. What's that, Patrick? Do you know what that is?
It's clams. We would just
It's clams. Okay.
Pasta with clams. Spaghetti alle vongole. That is my favorite too. I have clams in my freezer to make pasta soon. Sorry, I'm trying to write this the fish. Yeah, and then vongole are so
I like eating fish.
pasta with clams. So this was my little attempt at an explanation. I liked eating the fish. It was the best. So the fish is a particular type of fish in Trieste. Or I like eating fish in general. It's the best.
The people of Trieste were friendly and nice. Yeah, good. What was the best part? What was the best part of the holiday?
What was the best part of your holiday to Slovenia, Gabe? That is broadcastable on YouTube.
You assume that most of my trip is not.
Not that most of it wasn't, but maybe the best bit was.
I don't remember much of the trip.
Well, that's kind of related to what I was thinking.
I think partially in my description of, because when I was talking to you earlier about the change of landscape, it was partially that as well. The complete. I'd not been to a kind of culturally Slavic country before. Ljubljana is an interesting mix in that it's kind of got so many different influences from Italy, from kind of the Balkans, from Slavic countries to the east. And you can see it also, I think, in the food as well. I think the food, again, was amazing in that you had kind of a mix between Balkans food, Italian, like maybe German influences or Germanic influences, Hungarian food potentially, and Slavic as well. It was a real like center point. And the food was insane. Cool. Really good.
That definitely makes me want to visit. Patrick, what was the best part when you visited Slovenia? The best part, when I visited Egypt, the best part was going down the Nile on a boat. That was really wonderful.
The best part was the sea. Yeah. Just watch out for your spelling of sea as the noun. We need the A form. The sea. And then I and my girlfriend went to a beach party. Nice. Okay, so when we're talking about somebody else, that's no problem, Patrick. When we're talking about somebody else and the first person, we would put them first.
Oh, I see.
when we talk about it in the subject. So we'd say, my girlfriend. Oops, not how you spell girlfriend. My girlfriend and I went to, and then went to a beach party. We probably use the indefinite article in this instance because there are many beach parties in general, I think. So we'd probably just list it with the indefinite.
Yeah, great.
Good. Great.
That sounds
Good
like
stuff.
a lot of fun. Is Ljubljana on the coast?
No, it's not. There's a river, but there's a river everywhere, isn't it? That's the basic necessity, isn't it?
Okay. That was great. Good stuff. So this is now just more questions about holidays, but your next holiday. So we're thinking about planning and choosing holidays. So Patrick and Gabe, how far in advance do you like to plan your holidays?
Personally, I don't plan holidays far in advance. Oh, I see, Patrick, you're replying to that last question, which was, would you change anything? And Patrick saying, I wouldn't change anything.
Yeah, so this is conditional, Patrick. So not I didn't, but I wouldn't. And then the other thing, right, yeah, so you corrected the spelling of change, which is great, yeah. The other thing is we can't have a double negative in English. So you've got not, didn't, and nothing. In English, we call this a double negative. So we would say, I wouldn't change anything because we've got would not. So I would not change anything. But great. So you had a perfect holiday, which is fab.
Perfect holiday, yeah.
Yeah. So, sorry, Gabe. Yeah.
Yeah. So how far in advance do you like to plan your holidays, Patrick? I don't like to plan too far in advance. I like the excitement of booking things and then going quickly, fairly quickly. I mean, probably the most would be a couple of months ahead. That would be the most, but I quite like doing things, if it's possible, quite near to the time that I book. What about you? How far in advance do you like to plan your holidays? Emily.
I'm quite similar to you. I think maybe between 1 and 2 months is my average. If I want to go on holiday with somebody, also because I don't live with my friends I don't live in the UK, so I live distant from a lot of my friends. So if I want to organize a holiday with those friends, then usually we would try and organize it a bit more in advance, at 1 or 2 months in advance, I think. But I like to be spontaneous as well.
Yeah.
The last year ago, I came to Rome spontaneously. Before I moved, before I lived here, I came for a week with a friend and we planned that just a week in advance, which is fun.
I suppose this is a question which warrants the answer. It depends.
Yeah.
It depends what kind of holiday it is, where you're going, who you go with.
Yeah. Everything.
What age group
depends.
that person is. What's going on in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. I have some of my family live very distant, so we have to plan a lot in advance. The family holiday in Egypt, because there were 15 people, 15 members of my family came, and they live in Switzerland and the UK and Hong Kong. And so we planned that holiday maybe a year and a half in advance. This is great.
Good sentences. I usually plan holidays in this moment. Just a couple of plurals need to be added, otherwise really perfect. I usually plan holidays because usually implies that it's a repeated activity, so plan holidays. And I plan 2 months, plural as well, before. And I prepare everything. For example, where am I going? When am I going?
Great.
Yeah.
And absolutely. And again, a small correction. We would say it depends. So depends needs an S for the third person singular. Oh, and also the preposition. It depends on, we say in English. A kind of journey. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
It depends.
Which do you prefer, summer holidays or winter holidays, and why?
Well, this is a slightly strange question. I mean, I want to hear from Patrick, but in my opinion, it's a bit. Cool.
Last 3 years, I did it in this way, as in plan 2 months before.
Yeah, that's fine. The last 3 years, I did it in this way. We need the object. Did is a transitive verb, so it needs an object. I did it in this way. Great. And again, Patrick, careful with your plurals. We're talking in general. I love summer holidays. Like in the question, we can see summer holidays or winter holidays. Why?
Got another song. I'm not going to sing that one. I like swimming and running on the beach. Perfect.
Great.
Perfect sentence.
Really nice, yeah. Yeah. I love summer holidays and winter holidays. So we have an expression, we have an idiom in English, which is, it is like comparing apples and oranges, which means both, I love apples and I love oranges, but they are different. So the comparison for me, this is how I feel. I love summer holidays, I love winter holidays. I don't prefer one because they are very different. I love skiing, but I also love sunbathing and swimming in the sea. But skiing is very expensive, so it's quite difficult to do. What do you think, Gabe? Which do you prefer?
Well, I don't know. To be honest, I haven't gone on many winter holidays. But I tend to do much of a similar kind of thing on summer and winter holidays anyway. So for me, it's the holiday that counts more than the season. It's not dependent on the weather. I'm happy in all kinds of weather, or annoyed in all kinds of weather as the mood dictates.
Yeah, that's very true. That's true. Yeah. I mean,
so summer is more. Go on. What were you saying?
I was going to say, if it's a tourist holiday, if you're visiting a city and you're interested in the culture and the history, then absolutely, yeah. It's not a summer holiday or a winter holiday. It is just the experience of visiting the place. Yeah.
I think summer, of course, has the benefit and the bonus of offering, in a way, usually more activities, because it's possible to do more things for longer periods of time when there's more light and heat. So by default, summer is easier. But again, yeah, it's not. Yeah. It's not the fundamental factor. Summer is more beautiful than winter. Is it okay? The comparative? Yes. That is a perfect comparative.
Yeah.
And you've gone for the longer one because beautiful is a longer adjective, the 3-syllable adjective.
Absolutely. Patrick.
Oh.
No, go.
No.
That's what I was going to say.
Okay. Which do you prefer, Patrick? Packaged holidays or planning your own? And why? Which do you prefer, packaged holidays or planning your own?
Me?
Yeah.
I generally prefer planning my own holidays. Whenever it is my decision to choose to organize a holiday with my friends, I never choose a packaged holiday. But when we visited Egypt this winter, it was a package holiday, so everything was organized, and that was definitely the best way for this holiday because we had a guide to explain all of the amazing history and to show us the aspects that we could not otherwise have
that's true.
known about. But I think visiting...
I suppose in more unfamiliar terrain, in more unfamiliar territory, packaged holidays perhaps work much better. Also, if there are tourist traps, that kind of thing, tourist tricks, that kind of thing, perhaps packaged holidays can work well. Yeah. That's a good point.
But in general, I agree with Patrick. I prefer planning my holidays. It's really nice.
I had a couple of friends who did a trail in Jordan at Christmas time through the desert, which I was very jealous of.
Wow.
And they said it was took loads of pictures to show me, obviously. And that looks amazing. I would love to do a trail in Jordan of some kind.
With a guide? Were they with a guide?
A guide? Yeah, they were on camels with guides.
Mm. Yeah, that does sound amazing. But again, a better thing to do as a package holiday. You don't want to try and organise a
camel and venture off into the wilderness.
And for this sentence, Patrick, because I like choosing all the details, I think we would say. Or, yeah, all the details. And then something similar here. I think that okay, I see. Yes. I think that I enjoyed every holiday, and this is, I know with these plurals or not plurals, it's very confusing, but the word every needs a singular. So I think that I enjoyed every holiday if I chose it all. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's good.
Mm.
And there's another horrible, confusing thing. So with enjoyed, you have changed the spelling a little, but the infinitive to enjoy, I'm just going to bring it up on the screen. This is O-Y at the end. So it's vowel Y. If we have vowel Y, we don't need to change the spelling. Only when it is consonant Y. So study, like you've written in the past, becomes studied with an I. Because it's D is a consonant, DY. But enjoy is vowel Y, so it doesn't change. I'm just writing this out.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoyed. Okay, but you did a great job. I mean, these are very confusing little details.
You enjoy choosing all the details. So for example, the airplanes company, we can just call it the airplane company. Or perhaps the airplane company, the best way is, the most concise way is probably just say airline, you might say. We often call it the airline in English.
Yeah.
And the hotels. Yeah, great.
Yeah. I guess that's the answer to the last question.
To the last, yeah, that's true.
Great stuff. Good job, Patrick. There's a lot of you have a lot of attention from us at the moment because you're our only student.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of pressure on you. Good. Okay. So we're looking at a vocabulary brainstorm here. If we're planning a holiday, what kind of words fit into each group? We have transportation, sightseeing, planning, accommodation, and types of holiday. I think if we look at transportation first, is that how it comes up?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you think of some vocabulary related to holiday transportation? This is just a brainstorm exercise.
Give us words.
Perfect.
Right.
Coach,
Good.
bus, train, car, ship, boat. Excellent.
Very nice. Airplane. So that's lots of nouns. Can you think of some verbs? Verbs to do with transportation.
Yeah.
Or adjectives.
It hasn't actually given any adjectives in the transportation, and there's one verb.
It's basically just nouns, is it?
It's mostly nouns. Yeah, there are 4 modes of transport, and then there are a lot of car methods. It's not great actually. And then there's one verb which is probably quite useful.
Well, maybe Patrick's writing or not, but I'll bring them up anyway.
I think just bring them up here.
So we have car, coach, plane, boat, which is great. Those are all the ones that Patrick said. To rent, and then fuel, road, motorway. Patrick, what type of thing can you rent? What do you rent? What can you rent on a holiday? And then other transport verbs, I was thinking of fly, travel, drive. Ride. Rent a car for the holiday, perfect. Yeah. Or a motorbike, yeah.
I'm just conscious that we may want to reach the comparatives as well.
Oh, that's true.
Because we have 10 minutes, and
should we just go ahead?
Like perhaps the comparatives might be more useful than because Patrick seems to know the vocab in this. So why do we look instead at, you were asking about comparatives earlier. So I think maybe if we spend this time looking at comparatives on this slide. So we've got a list of adjectives on the left. Cheap, expensive, delicious, hot, small, boring, relaxing, and fun. Put these words into their comparative forms and into the gaps. And watch out for the 2 different patterns of comparatives again. So we have number 1, Thailand is Russia.
This is a very flexible exercise. There could be more than one answer. So that's great. Not just hotter. So Patrick, for number 1, we wouldn't say Thailand is hotter Russia, but Thailand is hotter Russia. So there's another particle that we always need with a comparison.
And you used that in your earlier as well. So what do we need?
Yeah. I'm sure you know, probably you've already written. We just have a delay. So,
hang on, let's just bring up this.
okay.
Bring up this up.
This sentence is perfect. Summer is more beautiful than winter. So this is what we need here as well. Or hotter. Hotter is a great comparative, but Thailand is smaller than Russia, or hotter than Russia. Or for number 2, museums are more boring than restaurants, in your opinion. So let's say, actually, Patrick, if you haven't already started writing, number 3, can you write the complete sentence for us? So start, not just the adjective, but the complete sentence.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you want to take that?
Okay, so we use with, there's no rule for this. This is just an irregular, isn't it?
It's irregular. It's a really weird.
This is an irregular comparative, Patrick. Logically, following the rule, that's absolutely spot on. But with fun, we use more. It's more fun. It's an irregular. You followed the logical pattern, but in English is often illogical. So the correct one would be the beach is.
I've got it.
The beach is more fun than the mountains.
But it's very strange. This is perfect. The beach is hotter than the mountains. That's spot on.
Although you don't need the beaches. Although just watch out for this. You don't need the definitive article here. The definite article here. The beach is hotter than the mountains. Yeah. Okay. What about number 4? Driving is flying. Ooh.
I had to itch my nose and I didn't want to do it.
Okay, right, okay. I thought you might be doing a surreptitious scratch or something.
I had to scratch my nose. I had to scratch it. Oh, my dad used to get mad at me for using itch as a verb. Okay, so hi, Tony.
Hello, Tony.
Careful, Patrick. So cheap is a short adjective. So we want, just like with your other examples, not driving is more cheaper than flying. How can you correct the sentence? Because I'm sure that you know what the mistake is here, because your other sentences were great. There's just a little mistake.
I think Tony's changed his profile picture. You look very suave in your profile picture, Tony. Very suave.
So Patrick, what is the correction for this sentence? Or I guess, Tony, if you want to, you could give us the correction.
That's true.
Yeah, perfect.
Excellent.
Short adjective. Driving is cheaper than flying. Yeah, good. What is
5.
What is
Go on.
couch surfing?
Couch surfing.
Maybe we could. Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was good. No, I was going to say we should just explain. So yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Couch surfing is when you spend several consecutive nights sleeping on different people's sofas or couches. Often they can be friends' couches, but not always. So it's spending a trip or a period of time sleeping on people's couches. I'm not sure how it got surfing as a
yeah.
attached
So
to it.
yeah, free accommodation.
Yeah.
There's an app for it. You can find free accommodation on holiday by using the app.
So what do we think for number 5? Couch surfing is staying in a hotel.
If you want to use other adjectives, that's absolutely fine as well. You could use a different adjective.
Couch surfing is more relaxing than staying in a hotel.
Yeah.
Perfect comparison. Yeah.
Grammatically, that's a perfect sentence. Couch surfing is more couch, not coach, but couch, which is a synonym of sofa. So couch surfing is more relaxing than staying in a hotel. I mean, I don't know if I agree with you.
But potentially, if you're staying with friends or something, it could be. But couch surfing isn't always, is often not staying with friends. Paris is smaller than Rome. Excellent example.
Yeah.
And why don't we finish with number 8?
That's a good place.
Wine is Tony is funnier than Corrado.
Agree.
Excellent. And what about number 8, guys? Let's end with
you too, Tony. Have a fantastic weekend.
Wine is more delicious than beer. Perfect. Have a great Easter, Tony.
Yeah.
Wine is more delicious than beer. Spot on.
Right.
Highly contentious, but
smashing stuff.
Good. Really well done, Patrick. There was a lot of pressure on you during the entire lesson, but you did really well. And really well on the comparatives as well.
Very good stuff. It was nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you, yeah. Have a
Bye.
nice rest of your evening. Bye.